Who's the visiting team?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs are visiting.
Mm.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Morelli Field and Game 1 of the Intercity Baseball League Championship Series between the Sabertooth Expos and the Andre Chiefs. And now introducing first the visiting Andre Chiefs. Batting first, in right field, number 8, Juan Parra. Batting second, at second base, number 4, Miles Reed. Batting second, the catcher, number 69, Teddy Zuba. Batting fourth, at first base, number 47, Andrew Caulfield. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 35, Ryan Noon. Batting sixth, in left field, number 9, John Batista. Batting seventh, at shortstop, number 44, Nate Witkowski. Batting eighth, at third base, number 7, Tyler Ferdinand. Batting ninth, in center field, number 98, Nick Valdario. The starting pitcher, number 34, Josh Desai. And now the starting lineup for the home team, Sabertooth Expos. Batting first, in center field, number 1, Idelson Taveras. Batting second, at third base, number 17, Keebler Peralta. Batting third, the extra hitter, number 25, Andrew Mazzoni. Batting fourth, in left field, number 7, Leon Paulino. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 26, Matt Consigli. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 44, Dionis Quezada. Batting seventh, in center field, number 8, Ryan Cloutier. Batting eighth, at first base, number 13, Angelo Colucci. Batting ninth, at second base, number 11, Michael Oliveira. Batting 10th, at shortstop, number 3, Jose Paulino. The starting pitcher, number 19, Josh Roberge. And now we ask that you please rise and direct your attention to the flagpole in center field for the playing of the national anthem. Play ball.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass, this is Intercity League Baseball here on LSP. Tonight, it's Game 1 of the Best of 5 2023 ICL Championship Series between the number 2 seed Andre Chiefs and the number 1 seed Sabertooth Expos. Good evening, everybody. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. Rick DeAngelis, the owner and manager of the Lexington Blue Sox, will be joining me later on tonight. But, again, Rick DeAngelis joining me on the mic and not managing in the Intercity League Championship Series for the first time since 2006. It has been a long time since we've played a championship series without the Blue Sox involved. 2006 was the Watertown Reds and losing to the Cassell Club in what was the only championship for the Cassell Club in 4 straight trips to the championship series for that team. Both the Reds and Cassell obviously no longer in the ICL. The Chiefs in the championship series for the first time since 2016, in which they faced the Blue Sox in 7 out of 8 years and won 2 championships, their last being in 2014, while the Expos in the championship series for the 3rd consecutive year and looking to win their 2nd consecutive title after dethroning the Blue Sox last year in 4 games. The Expos won the regular season series against the Chiefs 4-1 and swept the Melrose Americans in 2 games that were not particularly close, at least in terms of the final score. The second game of that series between the Expos and the Americans was 1-1 going into the 7th, and actually the Americans were 6 outs away from forcing a Game 3 before the Expos tied it in the top of the 6th of that game, then scored 6 in the top of the 7th to come away with the sweep of the Americans. The Chiefs swept the Blue Sox in 2 very hotly contested games, both 2-run victories for the Chiefs, 4-2 in Game 1 at Maplewood and 3-1 in Game 2 at LHS. Anthony Perry has submitted the following starting lineup for the Andre Chiefs, who will be in the maroon jerseys with the white letters and numbers. It'll be Juan Parra, the ICL batting champ, leading it off in right field, followed by Miles Reed at second. Teddy Juba is behind the plate. Andrew Caulfield is at first. Caulfield set the ICL single-season record for RBIs this year with 39. He's at first, batting cleanup. Ryan Noon is the DH, batting fifth. Then it'll be John Batista in left, Nate Witkowski at short, Tyler Ferdinand at third, Nick Valdario in center. Rounding out the batting order, Josh Desai getting the start for the Chiefs on the mound tonight. For the Expos in the powder blue jerseys with the red shoulders, letters, numbers, and the red and blue cap, it'll be Adelson Taveras leading it off in center field, followed by Kebler Peralta at third. Andrew Mazzoni is the extra hitter. Leon Paulino is in left. Matt Consigli is the DH. Dionis Cazada is behind the plate. Ryan Cloutier is in right. Angelo Colucci is at first. Michael Oliveira is at second. And Jose Paulino rounds out the 10-man batting order for the Expos. At short on the mound for the Expos, warming up right now, the right-hander, Josh Roberge. Roberge is making his first appearance of the postseason. The Expos only needed 3 pitchers to get through their 2 games with the Americans, and the Chiefs got a complete game from each of their starters in the semifinals against the Blue Sox. Roberge only pitched in 3 games in the regular season. And he was 2-0 with 1 save and a .955 ERA in 7 1/3 innings. Did not face the Chiefs in the regular season, did Roberge. As Juan Parra, again, the ICL's batting champion this year, one of the top, he got 3 of the top candidates for ICL MVP in this series. Juan Parra settling in against Roberge. First pitch, 8-0-2. Popped up into foul ground on the first base side. Colucci giving a look, tries to reach over and does not haul it in. It is strike 1, and we are underway. 74 degrees, clear, not as humid as it has been at times during the home stretch of the season, so that's always good. But with Game 2 scheduled for Sunday night, at last check of the forecast, there's as much of an inch of rain in the forecast on Sunday in Melrose. So we'll see if that gets played. on time. 0-1 to Para. Broken back grounder to short. Scooped up by Paulino. No chance. Infield single to begin Game 1 of the ICL Championship Series for Para. So here is Spida, Miles Reed, the second baseman.
Number 4, Miles Reed.
It is convenient to have, the second baseman be the second place hitter and have the number on his back match the number of his position for. But anyways, Reed, remember, hit and run could be a factor here early on for the Chiefs offense. Throw back to first, and Para is back safely. By the way, Para in the semifinals against the Blue Sox batted .286 with 1 double and 2 RBIs. Scored the tying run and drove in the game-winning run against the Blue Sox in Game 2. Reed pulled back, but it was a called strike anyway, 0-1. Reed was 3 for 6 with an RBI and a run scored against the Blue Sox in the semis. Slow grounder to second. Not sure if they'll get 2. They'll tag. Did they tag him? They did. It's a double play. I believe they got the out signal on Para. They got the out at first at the very least. Para's still standing at second, but I think he's pleading his case that he was saying that he didn't tag him, but I'm trying to figure this out. There's certainly 1 out. Reed is definitely out 4-3 at the very least, or is it a 4-3 double play? And I guess he is going to stay. I thought they slapped the tag on him. No, if it wasn't that close, all right. Well, I don't know. Just with the pollen on the window, I guess, can obscure that. But anyways, I guess it works as a sacrifice anyways. So it's just a ground out 4-3 for Reed. Runner in scoring position for Teddy Juba. And he'll take in the dirt for ball 1. Quezada able to keep it in front of him, and no advance by Para. Juba was 0 for 5 with a strikeout and a walk and an RBI in the semifinals against the Blue Sox. Uncharacteristic for Teddy. Hopefully he can have a good championship series here, seeking his first Intercity League championship, as that is a strike, 1-1. And the Alabrandis came to the ICL. He was one of the leaders of that team. Then the Alabrandis merged with the Chiefs. Now here he is in the ICL Championship Series for the second time. The first time Teddy was in the ICL Finals, the Alabrandis succumbed to the Blue Sox, as many teams did over the last 17 years. Looking for his first ICL ship here as a member of the Chiefs. 2-1 the count to Juba, and he takes outside. 3-1. I mean, can you see why this guy has over a 500 career on base percentage across all the leagues he's played in here on the Boston circuit? 3-1 the count to Juba. And he'll ground this one foul, and the count will be full. Andrew Caulfield is due up next. Don't forget to vote on our Who You Got poll. This is only for Game 1, though. Do you have the Chiefs, the Expos, or do you just hope both teams have fun? It's only fun if you win, right? Anyways. Para at second after getting on a leadoff infield single. And Juba able to foul that one the other way. We'll do it again. And 3-2 with 1 out. Remember, Caulfield, leading RBI man in the ICL. Single season record since 2006 with 39 in the regular season. Due up next. Right back to the pitcher, Robert, who looks Para back to second and fires on to first for a huge second out and preventing Para from advancing.
First base, number 47, Andrew Caulfield.
So here is Caulfield. 39 RBIs in the regular season. ICL single season record since 2006. In the semis against the Blue Sox was 2 for 5 with a walk, an RBI, and 2 strikeouts. plus a run scored. Chiefs only had one extra base hit in the 2 games against the Blue Sox, so that didn't matter in the end. That extra base hit being Parra's double in Game 2, as that is upstairs for ball 1. Caulfield in his postseason career with the Chiefs, dating back to 2019, is a .263 hitter with 1 double, 1 homer, and 5 ribbies. Comes up empty there, and it is 1-1. Was nigh unheard from last year, going 1 for 9 with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts. Been 20 in 3 games rather. But in 5 games in 2021, had an OPS of 1053. Two and 1 the count. To Caulfield with Parra still at second. Fouls that one off. Evens the count at 2. Best of 5 ICL Championship Series. Game 2 scheduled for Sunday night at 8 o'clock with games 3, 4, and 5. Also at 8 o'clock Monday through Wednesday of next week. All games will be at Morelli Field. Andre will be the home team for Game 2. Check swing, and it is a strike 3 for the out that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left through half an inning. Chiefs nothing. Expos coming up. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor content for as little as $25 per ad, whether you want to promote a business, an event, or want to send a message of support to a player or team. Email samfeelypbp@gmail.com for more information. So as I mentioned, Josh Desai getting the start for the Andre Chiefs. Pitched in 5 games in the regular season. He was 2-0 with a .498 ERA in 19 2/3 innings. He allowed 24 hits, 17 runs, 14 of which were earned, walked 5, struck out 22. Here's the thing, though. He surrendered 4 home runs, and all of them were to the Lexington Bulldogs, the light-hitting Lexington Bulldogs this season. Did not suffer a loss. That's the important thing, I guess. He also threw 1 wild pitch and committed 1 balk. His 2 wins on the season came in consecutive appearances against the Mad Dogs and the Bulldogs on June 21st and 29th. 4 innings with allowing 4 hits with 1 unearned run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts against the Mad Dogs on June 21st. And then against the Bulldogs on the 29th, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. Last year in the postseason, Desai made one appearance. It was against the Expos in the semifinals on August 4th, went 5 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Leading off for the Expos, center fielder number 1, Tavares.
So here is Tavares to lead things off here in the bottom of the first. Lefty against lefty, and that'll be in there for strike 1. Tavares was 2 for 6 with 2 walks, a double, 2 ribbies, and a run scored against the Americans in the semis. Strokes out 1 to center field. Backing up is Valdario. Now turning back some more. Reaches up for it, and he doesn't have it. Picks it up off the base of the fence. It's going to be a leadoff double for Tavares.
Third base, number 17, Peralta.
So after his 2 pitches, Teddy Juba already going out to have a quick word with Josh Desai, as here's the third baseman for the Expos, Peralta. Peralta, 2 for 8 with a double, a run scored, and an RBI in the semis against the Americans. Fouls that one off for strike 1. Peralta in the regular season, /421, 520, 579 in 6 games with 1 double, 1 triple, and 4 ribbies. Even in the count now, 1-1 with the leadoff man Tavares in scoring position. So Tavares picks up his second double in as many games here in this postseason. He's going for third as that's fouled off for strike 2. Tavares in the regular season had 5 doubles and was 5 of 6 in steals. Expos stole 5 bases in 6 attempts in the 2 games against the Americans as a team. Fouled off again. Peralta played in 2 games against the Chiefs this season and was 3 for 7 with a triple, a run scored, and 3 ribbies. And Desai will hop off the rubber and look Tavares back. 1-2 the count. Nobody out. Leadoff man in scoring position for the Expos here in the bottom of the first. Grounded to the left side. Diving. No, it's past Ferdinand. And Witkowski will hold it to ensure nobody goes too far. But it's an infield single, and it's first and third for Andrew Mazzoni.
Extra hitter, number 25, Andrew Mazzoni.
Boy, do the Expos have a chance to blow it open early. Mazzoni takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1. In the 2 games against the Americans in the semifinals, Mazzoni was 3 for 6 with a double, but no ribbies. So look at a cash in here with runners at the corners and nobody out in the first inning of Game 1 of the ICL Championship Series. Taken outside for ball 2. Regular season Mazzoni, slash line of 444, 551, 794, 4 doubles, 6 homers, 26 ribbies. 2-2. OPS of 1345 for those keeping score at home. 12 walks. Your heart out, Barry Bonds. And that hit him. Well, that'll certainly up the OBP anyways. But the bases are loaded with nobody out for Leon Paulino, the left fielder.
Left field, number 7, Leon Paulino.
Paulino against the Americans in the semis was 2 for 6 with 2 strikeouts, no ribbies. He has the bases loaded in front of him and nobody out. What a tone setter this inning could be for not only for this game, but for the entire series. Desai will work with the full windup and the pitch. Swing. And he went around for strike 1. Came close to hitting him, but the Expos, well, don't want to be a choosing beggar here, Like, why take a hit by pitch when, you got a guy as good as Paulino who can, ranch one for a grand slam. I know it's lefty-lefty and everything, but, Paulino, granted time, just as Desai was going into his motion. And I don't blame Desai here. Bases loaded, you don't really have to worry about, too much movement on the bases before the pitch, before the swing anyways. Whoo! Beautiful. beautiful breaking ball, 1-2. Of course, with Mazzoni, another lefty up before Paulino, you would have liked to get him. And then you plunk him, load the bases, and then here it is. 1-2, popped up to the left side and caught by Ferdinand for out number 1. Massive out there. But now you got to face a righty, the DH Matt Consigli.
Designated hitter, number 26, Matt Consigli.
And, we talk about, Mazzoni and Paulino not having any RBIs in the semis against Melrose. That's misses for ball 1. Consigli had 1 and a 1-for-5 line. There's some more thump coming behind him. There's a slow roller up the middle field at second. Reed on to first, and it's thrown away. 1 run will score. Here comes another, 2-0. Be a fielder's choice and an E4 that brings home Taveras and Peralta. Mazzoni is retired, 4 unassisted.
Catcher, number 44, Dionis Quezada.
Consigli will get an RBI for Taveras' run, but Peralta scores on the error. 0-1 the count to Quezada. Quezada 1-for-4 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored in the semis. Misses inside for ball 1 to even the count. So Consigli at first, reaching safely on the error by Reed. After Quezada come Cloutier and Colucci, who each had 3 ribbies in the semis. High for ball 2, 2-1. Way this inning started, if Desai can get out of it with the Chiefs just down 2, consider that a win certainly. Pitch down to way, throw down to second. Oh, Teddy had him, but the ball popped out of Reed's glove. It'll be 3-1 at a stolen base for Consigli. Desai delivers, and that'll be outside for ball 4, and Consigli will steal third in the process.
Center field, number 8, Ryan Cloutier.
Here's the right fielder, Ryan Cloutier. And he had 3 ribbies in the semis on 2 of 5 hitting with 2 runs and 1 walk. And fouls that one off for strike 1. So Quezada picks up the walk. 2 steals on this trip for Consigli. And that's taken for a strike. 0-2. Consigli with now upping the Expos stolen base total on the postseason to 7 in 8 attempts. Chai also had 2 steals in the semis, up and in. 1-2. Chaya did that essentially as a pinch runner. Didn't register a plate appearance, but did steal 2 bases and score a run. I don't know how that works. The Oakland A's, the Charlie Finley era A's did that way back when. Down the right field line into the corner. That's going to land as a fair ball. 1 run scores, and it'll just be a single for Cloutier as it is 3-0. Consigli coming home on the RBI single. Going to third on the play is Quezada. So 3-0. Runners at the corners once again. Don't know if anyone's warming just yet for the Chiefs, but Juba trying to settle down Desai here. Colucci takes a strike, 0-1. Before the Stoneham Sabres merged with the Middlesex Expos to form the Sabertooth Expos, Colucci was a manager of the Stoneham team, as that is bounced to the plate. Kind of a little hitch in the delivery by Desai. I think you noticed at the very last minute that Cloutier was running, and, well, better to let him take the steal than commit a balk and bring in Cazada. 1-1 the count. Grounder to the left side. Witkowski has it on to first. Oh, it's offline, and the throw is there anyway. Caulfield, swipe tag to get Colucci for the out that retires the side. So the Expos get 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error and leave 2. Or through 1 complete, 3-0 Expos. LSP is the live event specialist. Ask us about taping, streaming, or announcing your next sports game, gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, play, meeting, or other event. Rates start just $150. Or find us on Thumbtack for details on our services outside the world of sports and live events, including graphic and document design, pet sitting and walking, errands, deliveries, you name it. samfeelypbp@gmail.com for more information.
Leading off for the Chiefs, designated hitter number 35, Ryan Noon.
Ryan Noon will lead things off here in the top of the second for the Chiefs, to be followed by John Batista and Nate Witkowski. Josh Roberge back out there for his second inning of work. Allowed a leadoff infield single to Parra, but no damage from there. Ryan Noon, the DH for the Chiefs, find themselves down 3-0 here in game 1. Sad misses outside. 4-1. Noon was 1 for 5 in the semis against the Blue Sox. Fouls this one off the other way. Count will even at 1. Also had a walk and a strikeout to his credit in the regular season. Noon slash 345, 435, 448 with 4 doubles, 1 triple, and 13 ribbies. It's in there for a strike. 1-2. Noon played in 4 games against the Expos in the regular season. Was just 1 for 13 with a double, 2 ribbies, and 5 Ks. And he strikes out again here. 1 up, 1 down.
Left field, number 9, John Batista.
Here is John Batista. Chiefs left fielder was 1 for 5 with a RBI and a walk in the semis against the Blue Sox. Pops this one foul behind us in the press box for strike one. Regular season Batista slash 267, 417, 422 with 4 doubles, 1 homer, and 9 ribbies in 17 games. Roberge delivers the 0-1. Just misses outside to even the count. Batista was 1 for 6 with a run scored, a double, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, and also is hit by 2 pitches against the Expos this season. Comes up empty on that swing and miss, and it is 1-2. Had 2 home runs in Game 2 against the Expos in the semifinals last year. Pair of Batista bombs. 2-2. In fact, those 2 home runs against the Expos and Sabres last year were the only 2 hits he had in the postseason. 3 hits on his postseason career in the last 2 years, and 2 of them are home runs. Comes up empty. Back-to-back Ks for Roberge. He's actually got 3 straight dating back to last inning.
Shortstop, number 44, Nate Witkowski.
Here is Witkowski, the shortstop. Able to throw out Colucci for the final out of the bottom of the first despite an offline throw. And off the handle of the bat. Trying to hold up his swing, and it is 0-1. Witkowski 1 for 5 of the runs scored in a strikeout against the Blue Sox in the semis. Was also hit by 1 pitch. In regular season, slash 169, 253, 215, 3 doubles, 8 ribbies. 1-1 the count to Witkowski. Foul tip. Into the mid of Cazada. It's 1-2. Witkowski was 3 for 11 in 4 games against the Expos in the regular season with a double, 2 runs, an RBI, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Two. Grounder to short. Paulino bobbles it, throws, not in time. That'll be an E6, and the inning will continue. So can the Chiefs make Roberge and the Expos pay for the 2-out error?
Third base, number 7, Tyler Ferdinand.
Here's Tyler Ferdinand, who was 1 for 4 with a walk, strikeout, and a sac hit in the semis against the Blue Sox. Just missed outside. 4-1. Chronology of the regular season series between these 2 teams this season as Ferdinand comes up empty. It's 1-1. Expos won the first game 10-4 on June 5th. It's down and in for a ball. Chiefs won 7-2 on June 14th. Expos won 7-3 on June 16th. Popped up, fell out of play. And the Expos won 5-3 on July 27th and 18-7 on July 31st. So as good as the pitchers are for both of these teams, will not be unreasonable to expect a high-scoring series. No matter how many games it ends up or who wins. Go back to that 18-7 game. Dan Shaw picked up a complete game win, allowing 7 runs for the Expos, and he and Nick Johnson were just so good at the top of the Expos rotation this season. Johnson going to be the runaway ICL pitcher of the year. A full count to Ferdinand, so Nate Wachowski will start his engines on this pitch with Valdario due up next. Roberge peering in over the glove, comes set. 3-2, here it is. Runner goes outside for ball 4. So first and second, the inning continues.
Center field, number 98, Nick Valdario.
Paulino's error prolongs the inning. Walk lets Ferdinand off the hook to prolong the inning. And now can Valdario punish Roberge. Able to hold up for ball 1. Valdario was 3 for 6 in the semifinals with 2 runs scored. We'll have to see that production out of the bottom of your order in the postseason. This was grounded foul, and it is a foul ball at called the last minute. Angelo Colucci trying to get an appeal here. That is very easily the last out of the inning. If that's ruled fair, if it's really picked up in fair territory. Regardless, Valdario's got to get a new piece of lumber. Brandon Anderson coming out to, ask for ask the home plate umpire to give some help. I don't know, because first base umpire's call, but Valdario getting back to the box with a fresh piece of wood. 1-1. The inning continues. Again, another reprieve for the Chiefs here in the top of the second. The first 2 were dispatched on strikeouts. Fouled off 1-2. Valdario in the regular season, 227, 292, 258 a slash line with 2 doubles, 3 ribbies, and 4 walks to 22 Ks. Against the Expos was 0 for 14 with 8 Ks in 5 games. Fouls that one off, staying alive here. And it just goes to show you, as good as the Chiefs were this season, the Expos were just that much better. And, again, won 4 of 5 against the Chiefs. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blew the fastball by him, leaving nothing to chance there. And the side is retired. So 3 Ks in the inning for Roberge, and 4 so far through 2 innings. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 2 left. Through a buck and a half, 3-0. Expos. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or check out our collection of exclusive merchandise, including the LSP hoodie, now in 5 delicious colors. The Never Concede collection, some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and maybe some stuff inspired by this past season of Intercity League Baseball coming soon. LSP37.creative-spring.com to place your order for merch, and email samfeelypvp@gmail.com to place your order for DVDs.
Leading off for the Expos, second base, number 11, Michael Oliveira.
Nine, 10, and 1 due up here for the Expos in the bottom of the second. Michael Oliveira, the second baseman, will lead things off. By the way, right now we only have one vote in the Who You Got poll, but I know that even though the chat is subscribers only, you don't have to be a subscriber to vote in the poll. So vote who you think is going to win this game, the Chiefs, the Expos, or I just hope both teams have fun. Swing and a miss. Oliveira behind 0-2. 1 for 5 in the semis against the Americans with a run scored, 2 ribbies, and a walk. Down and away for ball 1. Also had a stolen base. So the Expos have 3 steals in addition to those 3 runs on 3 hits in the bottom of the first to give them 8 steals and 9 attempts as a team on the postseason. Oliveira, Paulino, and Taveras due up. And if anybody gets on, Kepler Peralta. Desai winds and delivers the 1-2. Outside for ball 2 to even the count. Up and away, and the count is full. Payoff pitch. Pop foul to the right and out of play. Do it again. Oliveira in the regular season, 164, 360, 182 is slash line, but comes up empty there. Strikeout to begin the bottom of the second.
Shortstop, number 3, Jose Paulino.
Here is Jose Paulino, shortstop, who committed that error in the top half of this inning, but thankfully the Expos got out of the inning unscathed. Fouled off for strike 1. 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. A solo home run and 2 walks in the semifinals against Melrose. Regular season slash line 204, 389, 223. 0-2 the count. Paulino only had 1 extra base hit in the regular season. So to see him go ranch in the postseason is always a welcome sight. You know, leave nothing to chance, even if you're in the number 1 seed, the only team to win 20 games in the ICL this season. Goes down, fouls that one off to stay alive. Dating back to 2012, again, across the Yawkey League, the MSBL, the CABL, and the ICL, Paulino only has 5 career regular season home runs in over 1,300 at-bats. He had 3 for the Expos 2 years ago. Cooled off, though, this year, well, comparatively speaking anyways, last. Well, actually, cooled off more last year. Averaged a little bit up this year. 2-2. He's had 5 home runs in the regular season and career, as that'll be ball 3, unable to get the inside corner. with 3 of them coming in 2021. In fact, the last coming in 2021. In the postseason, he did have a home run last year for the Expos. Grounded to the left side, Witkowski on to first. 2 down. After extolling the virtues of timely home runs by Jose Paulino, just a routine ground out to short. The line turns over for Taveras.
Center field, number 1, Idelson Taveras.
Taveras doubled and eventually came around to score to lead off the bottom of the first. Take strike 1. Missed for ball 1. 2, even the count. Down and away. And Taveras ahead 2-1. Desai chops that one foul for strike 2. Desai was the ICL's outstanding pitcher, best pitcher in 2017. That year, Desai was 6-0 in 7 appearances in the regular season with a .875 ERA, 40 innings, 24 hits, 6 runs, 5 of which were earned, walked 12, and struck out 57, and he picks up a strikeout here of Taveras for a 1-2-3 bottom of the second. We're through 2 complete, still 3-0. Expos in game 1 of the best of 5 Intercity League Championship Series. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Then follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP 37. Simple as that. Rick. You want one too? Early, do you think? It's weird when it's only a 7-inning league, right?
Leading off for the Chiefs, right field, number 8, Juan Parra.
Top of the third will be the top third of the order for the Chiefs. A 3-0 game, the Expos leading. Josh Roberge back on the mound for the third inning as that's fouled off for strike 1. An unfamiliar position for this man to be sitting in at this time of the year. Joining us in the booth right now is the longtime owner and manager of the Lexington Blue Sox, Rick DeAngelis. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, Sam, how are you?
I was planning on being here regardless of what happened to the Blue Sox this season.
It would appear that I have the same purpose.
Hey, it happens. After players get eliminated from the postseason, they just become analysts for a week or whatever. I don't know. Parra behind 1 and 2 as the only hit so far for the Chiefs. Parra's just a phenomenal hitter, isn't he?
It's a beautiful night for a ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And these two teams are pretty evenly matched. Obviously, they finished first and second during the regular season.
Oh, just missed for ball 2 to Parra.
This is the best time in the Intercity League, playoff baseball. Everybody ramps it up, and there's no tomorrow, so to speak.
Yeah, there's no tomorrow, and you can't take anything for granted. I mean, in the 4-5 game, the Americans and the Mad Dogs. The Americans were, well clear of the Mad Dogs in the standings, but they gave them everything they got before the Americans finally walked it off, fouled off, and Roberts can't come up with that. So another reprieve for the Chiefs here as Parra stays alive. Saw that a couple times after the first two batters were easily dispatched in the top of the second, then that error at short, and then the walk by Ferdinand. Thankfully, Roberts, got Valdario as far as the Expos are concerned to end that inning, but it's not going to get any easier for the Chiefs batters. Assumingly the next couple of games we're going to see Johnson and Shaw. 2-2, 3-2. The thing about Parr and basically the entire Chiefs line, they have some of the most patient bats, some of the best eyes in the league.
Well, if you look at these teams, both of them, the hallmark of both of them, they have very good pitching, and offensively, they never quit. They capitalize and take advantage of mistakes, and they are very, I'm going to say in a very positive way, opportunistic. They create opportunities. And again, that's the mark of talented, motivated, driven teams, and these two teams are all of that and then some.
I mean, you got to be able to take advantage of your opponent's mistakes if you're going to win a championship in any sport. Let's take it for strike one by Miles Reed. What a great young player this kid is. Just a phenomenal player offensively and defensively. Remember a game the Blue Sox played against the Chiefs at Maple. He just leapt like 10, what felt like way high in the air as Parra. That's another thing he does really well, steal bases. But there's a play, it's 1-1 now, but where Reed leapt, felt like 10 feet in the air to rob one of the Blue Sox players of sure base hit.
He's a talented player. He anticipates. I suspect that Chuck Andre is at home watching tonight, and a shout out from me to him. I think this is the Chiefs' first appearance
since 2016
in the finals.
Yep.
Since 2016, and Anthony Perry has done a great job on a day-to-day basis running this team, managing it. But Chuck Andre is the heart and the soul of the Chiefs, and has been for, oh God, as long as I can remember, back 30, 35 years.
Good thing you're only 30 or 35 years old, right, Ricky?
Well, a little bit older than that. But,
grounder up the middle. Paulino on to first. One down as Parra gets to third. Not a whole lot of shortstops can cut that one off before it gets up the middle and brings home a guy like Parra. And then there's Thaddeus. I mean, he's a great guy, and he's an even better hitter. And it is just amazing to me how he plays in every league within a 50-mile radius, and he's just so good no matter where he plays. Like these days, he DHs a lot, swapping the catching duties with Ryan Noon, but he's still a very good defensive catcher. Like you can't overstate how good he is on both sides of the ball. He'll get an RBI out of this one on the nice smother there at first by Colucci, 2 down, and the Chiefs are finally on the board.
Teddy is the kind of guy that every team wants to have, but only one Teddy exists, and the Chiefs are fortunate to have him.
Andrew Caulfield, 39 RBIs in 24 games. He's a good hitter, but that's easy to do when you got guys like Parr and Reed and Juba ahead of you in the lineup. They're always on base for you to drive him in, as that almost plunked him for ball one. So the Chiefs on the board, 3-1 with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. 2-0. Caulfield, as insane a hitter he is, he doesn't walk as much as a lot of the other guys in the lineup. It's not like he's a free swinger or anything. He's still a very patient hitter, but just broken back, grounded down the third base line. That is a foul ball. Another close play to the bag that goes foul. We saw that earlier with that ground ball to Colucci last inning. Past your bedtime, Ricky? Never. Not at this time of year, anyways.
No, not this time of year.
So 2-1 the count to Caulfield. Struck out swinging his first time up to end the first. That's in there for a strike to even the count. Caulfield walked, quote unquote, only 11 times. But, when you look at the other numbers on his team, seems like those are rookie numbers. Boy, you got to up those numbers, Just,
question is, how long are these starters going to be able to be effective?
Yeah, I know. Like Desai only pitched in 3 games in the regular season. Obviously, didn't pitch in the semis, but didn't need to. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Caulfield is down on strikes for the second time. The side is retired. I mean, it's a quick start of the finals after the semis completed, but given that the Chiefs only use 2 pitchers and the Expos only use 3, their arms will be fresh,
The question is, how much stamina do they have?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Josh Desai has another life. My memory is that he has been a very successful coach in his own right, coaching the Shrewsbury American Legion baseball program, which has historically gone deep into their Legion playoffs. So he spends a lot of his time doing that. And whatever time he's got left, he's got to divide between family responsibilities and baseball.
that is how this league is and how life is. So it can be tough when you see players in their younger days are just lighting the world on fire, and then they got other responsibilities because that's just how life is. But
that is true.
Baseball will always be there.
Yeah, the players are changing. As Bob Dylan said, life is a-changing.
The times they are a-changing.
Times are a-changing. That's it.
They are a-changin'.
Changing. No ing.
Yep. Anyways.
Players change and leagues. We, as the Intercity League, for example, have to adapt a little bit and be more creative. That's why we carry big rosters, because you never know, particularly on a Sunday, who's going to show up, when, and if they're going to show up.
Yeah.
And it's somewhat frustrating in a way to have that happen. So you carry a big roster. Sometimes we call it the Sunday team will be playing today.
The Sunday team. I'll call it a skeleton crew, because you want to know that these guys can play if they're going to be called upon on a not Sunday, I guess. 1-0 the count to Kebler Peralta. Now it's 1-1. Peralta singled, came around to score back in the first, part of that 3-run bottom of the first for the Expos. They need 3-1 here in the bottom of the third. Desai gets him to chop this one to third. Ferdinand's got it on to first, 1 up, 1 down. Desai is settled in here. He's retired now 4 in a row. 5 in a row, rather.
Extra hitter, number 25, Andrew Mazzoni.
Colucci to ground out to short. Oliveira strikeout. Paulino ground out to short. Tavera strikeout. Peralta ground out to third. What's he got here for the big bat of Andrew Mazzoni? Grounder to second. Reed. He really has settled in. 2 down.
Yes.
You just wish that he could have settled in maybe a little sooner, and you wouldn't have gotten that, wouldn't have allowed that 3 spot. But the way he has, and knowing the way the Chiefs' offense is, it's still within reach, and it's a 5 game. It's a best of 5, not a best of 3. Fouled off for strike 1 to Paulino.
You know, once upon a time, we had finals that were 4 out of 7, and the semis were 3 out of 5.
Yep.
And we went late into August. Now we try and end the entirety, including all playoffs, by the middle of August. So players can go back to school. They go back to school much earlier, and people do want to have some opportunity for vacation time.
One hopper to second. Reed, 1, 2, 3, go the Expos for the second consecutive inning. Well, you really hope, if you're the Chiefs, it's a really good sign now, but now can your offense respond is the question, because Roberge has been real good so far. He's only allowed 1 hit and 2 walks and 1 error to this point. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot. You can, whether you're promoting a business or event or want to send a message of support to a player or team, email samfeelypvp@gmail.com for more information. Go to the top of the 4th, and it'll be 5, 6, and 7. The Chiefs lineup due up. Ryan Noon, John Batista, and Nate Witkowski. Sam Feely here with Rick DeAngelis for Game 1 of the Best of 5 Intercity League Championship Series at Morelli Field at Melrose High. Tough season for the Blue Sox, obviously. You know, I mean, like, how spoiled were we, to be in the championship series every year from 2017 to 2007 to 2022. Like, I mentioned it during Game 2 that Danny Graham had a 1 second. Yeah, on the mound. Okay, thank you. All right, we got a pitching change for the Expos, and that would be Vladimir Ramirez. Vladimir, not Vladimir. Vladimir.
Okay. So you were saying?
Oh, not.
For the Sabertooth Expos, now pitching number 18, Vladimir Ramirez.
So, I remember back in 2017, the OWH, Danny Graham, said during the postseason, that was the first year after the end of the epic string of 6 straight meetings in the finals between the Blue Sox and the Chiefs. He said, he had a vision at the start of that season that either the Blue Sox or the Chiefs would not make it to the finals. And at that point, the rest of the league was starting to catch up to the 2 teams that had, had a stranglehold on it for the better part of the previous decade. And, the rest of the league caught up to the Chiefs, but now the rest of the league is caught up to the Blue Sox, and the Chiefs are back in the finals. But I don't know. I mean, you as a manager and the owner of the Blue Sox, I mean, obviously it's tough to be up here, listening to me, pretend I know what I'm talking about.
I get to listen to you 30 games a year.
But I did see a lot of positive things from the Blue Sox as the season progressed, as Ryan Noon is going to take strike 1 from Vladimir Ramirez. And I'm going to point out one thing in particular. The last home game we had against the Expos, the one where we lost 3-0, but it was on the precipice of getting way out of hand the last couple of innings. But it was still we were within striking. It was still a save situation going to our final at bats. I felt like the way that season had played out, that game a month prior would not have been nearly that close.
May not have been. But it's like anything else. Let me comment on any one team dominating forever and ever. It's not going to happen. We were fortunate enough to go to 15 straight finals, and 6 or 7 or 8 of them against the Chiefs. Other teams, you don't want a league which is dominated by 2 teams and nobody else.
Yep.
What you want is balance, and you want competitiveness. And I think you see that we have it now. Am I happy that disappointed that we're not in the finals? Yeah, sure. I'm disappointed because I, like the rest of my colleagues, the Expos, the Chiefs, the Bulldogs, the Mad Dogs,
The Americans,
we all compete with one another. And if you're going to compete, you want to be among the best, and you do your best to be the best.
Backhand at third, nice spin and throw.
It's kind of a treat. My wife is with me in the stands, and I said, I very rarely, if ever, sit in the stands and watch an Intercity League game because I've had the privilege for 30 years of managing from a dugout. And if Chuck Andre can tell you just as well as I, you've been around that long. You go through waves of teams. You have to restock, reload, energize your teams periodically. You're not fortunate enough to have everybody stay for 13 or 14 years. People get on with their lives. They move. They take different career paths, and so on. So we've been very fortunate as a program, the Lexington Blue Sox, to have had people who come and they don't seem to leave early. They stay as long as possible. And remember, we had a great leader once upon a time who still leads us by inspiration. That it would be Pete Frates. I can't say enough great things about Peter Frates. The quintessential teammate, the quintessential athlete, the quintessential mentor.
Quintessential
He's
captain.
Everything you want in a ball player and a teammate and leader, and then some.
1-1 the count to Batista, who struck out Swain, and he's got one out with that fine play at third by Kebler Peralta. Vladimir.
I got a nice note, by the way, from Dan Graham after we were eliminated. And my response to him was, he was very complimentary of the program and me. And my response to him was, Danny, you're the best. You're the best player we ever had. You're the best leader, the best teammate, the best mentor. And as you probably know, he's an outstanding high school coach at Lowell High School. And some of our great players, Mike Hart being one of them, came with Danny, through Danny, to the Lexington Blue Sox.
Put up video game numbers in his MVP season.
Right, exactly. It's the guys like Dan Graham and Sean McElroy and Stephen Gaff and Tommy Haw and Pete Frates who made the Blue Sox what we are.
Okay, so when's Danny's Hall of Fame induction?
As soon as 5 years is up. And it's up this year. So
yeah, I was gonna say, he kept coming back, he kept coming back, and was still a very good player when he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he could probably still play today at 45 years old.
Oh, he's only that young.
I think so.
He's gonna kill me for that.
He may be listening to both of us.
Hi, Danny. I'm sorry if it makes it feel any better. The first time I felt old in terms of the Blue Sox was when I realized that Matt Karras is actually a year younger than me.
All right, well, let's look at this ball game for a minute here.
Oh, boy. 3-2 to Batista.
What do we know about the pitcher? What do you know about
Vladimir Ramirez. I just issued a walk here to Batista that brings a tying run to the plate in the person of Nate Witkowski.
Shortstop.
Ramirez.
Nate had a big hit against us in game one of the semifinals, by the way.
Yep. Ramirez in the regular season pitched in 5 games. It was 2-0 with a 2.74 ERA. Did not face the Blue Sox this season. Upstairs for ball 1 to Nate. Didn't throw more than 2 innings in any of his 5 appearances. Faced the Chiefs in each of his first 2 appearances. Got the win on June 5th. 2 innings of scoreless, hitless, walkless ball with 5 Ks. See if Batista's going to think about running here early enough. I think that, you take a chance. 1-1 to Witkowski, who's been around the Chiefs for a long time, of course.
He's been a mainstay player for the Chiefs. He's a good example of a guy who came as a young player and kept getting better and better and better.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Witkowski reached on error his last time up as the throw back to the mound got away from Ramirez, but no advance by Batista. Swing and a miss, strike 3. First strikeout for Ramirez, and there are 2 down here in the top of the 4th for Tyler Ferdinand.
Third base, number 7, Tyler Ferdinand.
Ferdinand drew a walk his first time up. Ramirez with 17 strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings in the regular season. And to 5 walks, so, 3-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio.
Looked like he shortened up the bunt there, Sam.
Yeah, he did. You're certainly not going to be expecting with 2 outs here, especially with the third baseman Peralta playing, basically even with the bag at this point.
Ferdinand has great speed.
And from the left-handed batter's box, going to be even harder to try and get him.
Yeah.
Batista, he might not have leadoff hitter speed, but he can run well too. So, certainly not a sure out anywhere on the bases if that were the play. But it's 2-0. So we try it again. Batista runs, pitches a strike, throw down to second is offline, and Batista able to stay on the bag for the stolen base to get into scoring position. 2-1, the count to Ferdinand, who took all the way there. That was a breaking ball too, wasn't it, on that 2-0 pitch? So just gave a little extra split second for Batista to get into scoring position with the stolen base. Outside corner, strike 2. So we got on our poll right now. And 4 votes. Half say 2 say the Chiefs. 1 says the Expos. 1 says, I just hope both teams have fun. Well, that's the spirit, isn't it? That's a balk. That's a balk on Ramirez. So Batista gets third for free. Still 2-2. Two and 2 the count. Runner at third on a balk committed by Ramirez, granting Batista third base. Saw that almost happen to Desai earlier. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Desai is retired. Balk schmuck, right? No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left. We're halfway home. 3-1. Expos on top. LSP is the live event specialist. Ask us about taping, streaming, or announcing your next sports game, gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, play, meeting, or other event. Rates start just $150.
Also, I'm going to go back and sit among the crowd and generate some enthusiasm for the Intercity League.
Thank you so much, Rick.
Before I go, let me just say this, and to the listening public, Sam started with the Lexington Blue Sox quite a long time ago.
2006, yep.
And he has just gotten better and better every year.
Thank you.
And to be able to stream games out there is a great thing. And I hope you folks that are watching and listening are enjoying the ball game and the commentary. Sam, you do a great job.
Thank you so much.
On behalf of the Intercity
Thank
League.
you. Thank you so much, Rick. By the way, folks, that's what this thing was for. By the way, you can pause the stream to copy down all that information if you want. No, I'm just I have no idea how to take a compliment, so I'll just say thanks ? Thanks, Rick. Okay, so we go to the bottom of the 4th. And it'll be Consigli, Cazada, and Cloutier due up against Desai.
Leading off for the Expos, designated hitter, number 26, Matt Consigli.
Curveball misses the outside corner for ball one to Consigli, who reached on a fielder's choice that brought home 2 runs. There was an error in the middle of that. 2-0. First 2 runs of the game for the Expos. Tavares and Peralta, the bases were loaded with nobody out. Then he stole 2 bases and came around to score the 3rd Expos run. But it has been nothing on the scoreboard since for the Expos. Here's a check swing grounder to first, and Caulfield will step on the bag for out number 1. And since Cloutier's RBI single in the first,
Catcher, number 44, Dionis Quezada.
since Cloutier's RBI single in the first, it's been 8 in a row retired by Desai, with nothing leaving the infield yet. Fouled off for strike 1 to Quezada, who drew a walk his first time up. It's been 2 strikeouts and 6 groundouts against instead RBI single by Cloutier. Chiefs got 1 run back, but have left 4 on base to this point. 1-1. Left 4 runners on base, 3 of them in scoring position. Parra led off this game with an infield single. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Those ended up stranded second. First 2 retired in the top of the second. Wachowski reaches on air. Ferdinand walks. They don't go anywhere. Parra gets on to lead off the third and ends up scoring, but the bases were left empty. Popped up to the left side. And once again, nothing has left the infield since Cloutier's single. 2 up, 2 down.
Center field, number 8, Ryan Cloutier.
Cloutier, again, the RBI single and a stolen base back in the first. So it's now 9 in a row retired by Desai, who misses for ball 1. Fouled off, 1-1. As we saw, top half of this inning, Teaser drawing the walk, stealing second, getting to third on a balk, but stranded there. The Chiefs have had their opportunities to claw into this deficit further, but have not been successful. That bounces to the plate for ball 2 to Ryan Cloutier. Cloutier was the ICL batting champion last year and was the rookie hitter and pitcher of the year. Check swing, it is 2-2. Grounder to the left side. Witkowski off balance throw. Nope. Good scoop at first by Caulfield. But Cloutier bookends this streak of 9 straight retired by Desai with another single.
First base, number 13, Angelo Gallucci.
So Cloutier is 2 for 2, picking up an infield single here, but again, it didn't leave the infield. It didn't get to the outfield, so. Gallucci, on the other hand, deep to center field, but Valdario is under it for the out that retires the side. So Cloutier breaks up a string of 9 straight retired that started with his single back in the first, but no further damage on the Chiefs. It's still 3-1 Expos after 4. The LSP store is now open. Get yourself a DVD copy or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, or check out our collection of exclusive merchandise, including the LSP hoodie, the Never Conceded collection, some stuff with my dog Tina the Long Arena on it, and more, I guess. LSP37.creator-spring.com to place your order for merch. Email samfeelypvp@gmail.com for DVDs. As we go to the top of the fifth, Nick Valdario, Juan Parra, and Miles Reed due up for the Chiefs. On the outside corner, 4-1 to the number 9 hitter, Valdario. Just hauled in a line drive for the final out of the bottom of the fourth. Now leads off the top of the fifth, strikeout swinging to end the top of the second, his first time up. Is going to be even the count here at 1-1 as he takes up and in for a ball. Ramirez out there to start the fifth. It's his second inning of work after 3 innings by Josh Roberge, drawing 1 run on 1 hit with 2 walks and 5 Ks. Roberge will not be in line for the win, though, only going 3 innings. So right now, as that is on the outside corner for strike 2, it is 1-2. It is Ramirez's game to win. (3-1) our score here in the top of the fifth. Expos doing all their scoring in the bottom of the first. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. For a third consecutive K for Ramirez. 1 up, 1 down. Here is Parra.
Right field, number 8, Juan
Parra,
Parra.
1 for 2. 1 for 1, rather. Single leading off the ball game. Walk, a steal, and a run scored in the third. Only Chiefs batter to get on base twice tonight. Can make it 3 for 3. Well, not on that pitch. Nice curveball. 4-1. 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error. And 4 left for the Chiefs. That's the thing. 1-1. 3 runs on 4 hits. No error, 1 error, and 3 left for the Expos. Popped up, fouling out of play. Peralta was ready to go chase it towards Tremont Street, and then kind of did the Ricky Starks pose. Absolute Ricky Starks pose. And at third base, we realized there's no chance. So 1-2. Not that close to it, though. Breaking ball just missed upstairs, 2-2. Kind of developing that way, but no, it wasn't all the way there. Not exactly like that guy years ago. A swing and a miss. Cazada on to first to complete the strikeout. 4 consecutive Ks now for Ramirez. And here is Reed.
Second base, number 4, Miles Reed.
Reed is 0 for 2 with a ground out to second and a ground out to short. Years ago, during I was pretty sure it was an audio-only broadcast. Yeah, it was, because there was a pickoff attempt at first base during a Blue Sox game. The runner stumbled into the bag. It was safe, but as he was getting up, kind of looked like he was T-bowing at the time, and yeah. 0-1 to Reed. Bounces to the plate, 1-1. So I mentioned how Colucci's fly to center. I mentioned how between Cloutier's hits, decided not to let a ball get out of the infield. Colucci's fly out to center is actually the first out in the outfield tonight. Up and in. 2-1. It's all been strikeouts and groundouts. A couple of infield hits along the way, but not a whole lot of hard hit balls tonight. Tavares' leadoff double in the bottom of the first is one of the few exceptions. Swing and a miss. Foul tip actually into Quezada's mitt. And it is 2-2. Reed hoping to get on for Teddy Juba, who's on deck. I'm talking about, it would not be unreasonable to expect a high-scoring series, but right now, anything but 3-1 here in the top of the fifth of game one as Reed flares this one foul the other way and out of play. It certainly did look like it would, maybe balloon a bit. The way the Expos started their turn at bat. Bases loaded, nobody out, got 3 runs, but then nothing since. The Chiefs have left more base runners to this point than the Expos, 4-3. Fouled off. Yep, fouled off. Looking for a moment. Heard a thump, and I thought it was the backstop, but Quezada was punching his mid, and he was punching his mid because he couldn't secure that foul tip. So Reed is still alive. The Chiefs aren't rolling over, when things look bleak, but they need to come through at some point, or the Expos are going to come away with a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 championship series. 2-2 again. No doubt about that one being a ball. Full count. Chiefs have coaxed 3 walks to just 1 single so far out of Expos pitching. Can they keep it going here and bring Juba to the plate as a tying run? Payoff pitch. Pop foul to the right. Colucci giving chase. We'll do it again. Grounder to short. Paulino on to first. Low throw, but Colucci's got it. And the side is retired. We're through 4.5, still 3-1 Expos. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Then follow and support us on the web. Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP37. It's so simple that only a child can do it. Bottom of the fifth, Oliveira, Paulino, and Tavares due up for the Expos.
Second base, number 11, Michael Oliveira.
Still just 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error and 4 left for the Chiefs, and 3 runs on 4 hits with 1 error and 3 left for the Expos. Desai hit him? No. Ball 1. Well, it was ticketed for the small of Oliveira's back. Well, he's ahead 1-0. Oliveira struck out swinging his first time up. Desai winds and delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Oliveira is just one of 2 strikeout victims tonight for Desai, the other being Taveras. It's part of a string of 9 in a row retired between the first and 4th innings by Desai. He's ahead of him 1-2. Through 5 innings, Josh Roberge and Vladimir Ramirez have held the Chiefs just 1 run, as I said, on 1 hit, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. That's down away for ball 2-0. And nothing hit out of the infield. Let me make sure I got this right on Parr's hit, leading off the ball game. Strikeout number 3 for Desai. 1 up, 1 down here in the 5th.
Shortstop, number 3, Jose Paulino.
Towering pop-up into center field. Valdario, 2 down. So Paulino is 0 for 2, and the lineup turns over for Taveras.
Center field, number 1, Idelson Taveras.
Taveras takes down and away for ball 1. 1-0. He is 1 for 2 with a double, the only extra base hit of this ball game, and a run scored, leading off the bottom of the first, and strikeout swing his last time up. In the top of the 6th, the Chiefs will have Juba, Caulfield, and Noon due up, as that is in there for strike 1. 1-1. Two and 1. Not good from here, but guess that's why I'm not an umpire, right? Fouled off. Count is even at 2. That is really incredible, though, that Chiefs haven't hit a ball out of the infield yet. I mean, you got these 2 powerhouse teams, powerhouse offenses. It's 3-1 in the first. Even the games they played against each other were basically all high scoring, and we got a pitcher's duel on our hands now. Expos hit 17 home runs as a team this year, which is tops in the ICL. The Chiefs hit 14, which was 3rd. The Blue Sox in between. And that's a full count to Taveras. Peralta due up next. 3-2. Into right field, and that will be caught on the run. Kind of a bit of indecision by Juan Parra. He's going to let that drop and decided to try and pursue it and makes the catch. And even if he lets up a single there, at least doesn't get burned and doesn't let it roll by him. So we are through 5 complete. Still 3-1 Expos. Can the Chiefs get their offense going here in these next 2 innings? Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 per ad, whether you want to promote a business or event or want to send a message of support to a player or team. Email samfeelypbp@gmail.com for more information. Teddy Juba to lead things off here in the top of the sixth for the Chiefs.
Leading off for the Chiefs, catcher number 69, Teddy Juba.
Juba is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, 1 a comebacker to the pitcher Roberge, and the other ground out to the first baseman Colucci. Ramirez is still out there for his third inning of work as Teddy showed bunt. I wonder if that threw Ramirez off as he was delivering the pitch. That bounced to the plate for ball 1. I mean, there's no way to, I'm sorry, Teddy, but I think you're asking to be thrown out there. I don't know. I mean, obviously you got the third baseman Peralta playing back. Already seen one error from the left side of the Expos infield tonight. 2-0. Remember, the Chiefs have not hit a ball out of the infield tonight. Their lone hit was an infield single by Parr leading off the ball game. 2-1. It's been a single, an error by the shortstop Paulino, 3 walks, 9 Ks, a bunch of groundouts. Teddy leading off here, one of the best eyes in the history of Boston amateur baseball circuit. Can he get on for Caulfield, who currently represents the tying run in the on-deck circle? Full count to Juba. It's Juba, Caulfield, Noon. Anyone gets on Batista. Inside for ball 4. That's a typical Teddy Juba at bat for you. So here is Caulfield.
First base, number 47, Andrew Caulfield.
Caulfield looking to avoid the hat trick. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And he takes strike 1 on the inside corner. Here's action behind Ramirez in the Expos bullpen. It's 1-1. Mentioned that he hasn't had an inning longer than 2 innings this season. He's gone 2 innings twice. Once against the Chiefs on June 5th, once against the Bulldogs on June 23rd. Broken bat pop-up, and it is going to drop. They'll get the out at second on Juba, but that's all. So Juba is retired 4-6. Caulfield reaches on the fielder's choice.
Designated hitter, number 35, Ryan Noon.
So it's now Caulfield at first. One down for Ryan Noon. Strikeout in the second, ground out to third in the fourth. Take strike one. Caulfield with a small lead at first, being held on by Colucci. Grounder up the middle. Flip to the shortstop, covering second for another weird-looking fielder's choice, but it is now 2 down. Still a runner at first as the play goes 4-6 once again.
Left field, number 9, John Batista.
So the Chiefs have picked up their 4th walk of the game, but it's still runner at first, now 2 down after a pair of 4-6 fielder's choices. By the way, Juba getting on to lead off this inning is the first time someone other than Parra has gotten on to lead off an inning for the Chiefs. Batista into left field, going back into the corner and able to make the catch is the left fielder, Leon Paulino. Finally, the Chiefs hit a ball out of the infield, but not deep enough, and it doesn't even land for a hit. We are through 5 1/2, and it is still 3-1 Expos. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business or event or want to send a message of support to a player or team. Email samfeelypbp@gmail.com for more information. LSP is also the live event specialist. Ask us about taping, streaming, or announcing your next sports game, gaming tournament, wedding, concert, recital, play meeting, or other event. Rates start just $150. Also find LSP on Thumbtack for information on our services outside the world of sports and live events, including pet sitting and walking, graphic and document design, deliveries, and so on. samfeelypbp, again, at gmail.com for more information. So here we go to the bottom of the 6th. Peralta, Mazzoni, and Paulino do up the 2, 3, and 4 hitters as the Expos hope to pad on to this lead and take a 1-0 lead in the series.
Leading off for the Expos, third base, number 17, Keebler Peralta.
Peralta 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a ground out to third as he takes a breaking ball for strike one on the outside corner from Josh Desai. So Vladimir Ramirez gets through a third inning of work for his longest outing of the season at 3 full innings. Down away for ball 1 to Peralta. It's been 3 innings of hitless relief so far for Ramirez with 2 walks and 4 Ks. And a hard grounder to short. Witkowski, it boots off his chest. And able to reach is Peralta on the leadoff E6.
Extra hitter, number 25, Andrew Mazzoni.
And that marks the first time since the first inning that the Expos get the leadoff man aboard. Coincidentally, the last time the Expos scored, the only time the Expos scored, the third inning. All 3 runs for the Expos in that first inning, rather. All 3 Expos in the bottom of the first. The lone run for the Chiefs coming in the third. But Mazzoni, who was 0 for 1, has been hit by a pitch and grounded out to second, hoping to get some insurance. One swing of the bat. 0-1 the count. Down away for ball 1. With only a 2-run lead, you don't want to give up outs on the bases if you're the Expos and you're trying to, get some separation. But at the same time, the guys due up for the Chiefs in the top of the 7th will be down their final 3 outs. Are the 7, 8, 9 hitters who are a combined 0 for 5 with 4 Ks. Witkowski, Ferdinand, and Valdario. Chopper to third. There is Ferdinand to second for 1. And that is all they'll get. So a 5-4 fielder's choice retires Peralta.
Number 7, Leon Paulino.
Bit of a high throw and, perfectly doable for Reed to, jump up and haul that one in to prevent it from going into right center, but make sure he comes down on the bag. And we're looking like we're going to have a pinch runner at first for Andrew Mazzoni, and it's going to be George Chaya, the aforementioned speedster for the Expos, who stole 2 bases in his lone appearance against the Americans in the semis. So Chaya is going to run right off the bat, and they got him in a hot box, and Caulfield tags him out. Well, that didn't go as planned, now did it? So Chaya is picked off 1-3. So it's 2 outs, bases empty for Paulino now. Paulino looking to get a run with 1 swing of the bat there and comes up empty 0-1. Popped up off the end of the bat. Reed hauls it in for the out. That retires the side. No runs, no hits, 1 error, none left. We go to the top of the 7th, closing time for the Expos, up 3-1.
Leading off for the Chiefs, shortstop, number 44, Nate Witkowski.
Nate Witkowski to lead things off here in the top of the 7th as the Expos 3 outs away from a 1-0 lead in this best-of-5 Intercity League Championship Series. Vladimir Ramirez still out there as he delivers outside for ball one. As I mentioned in the bottom of the sixth, this portion of the lineup that's due up, Witkowski, Ferdinand, and Valdario is a combined 0 for 5 with 4 Ks to this point. 1-1. The Chiefs have hit only one ball out of the infield tonight, and that was a fly out to left by Batista to end the top of the sixth. Witkowski is 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the second and struck out swinging in the fourth. 1-1. Down and away for ball two, and it is 2-1. So Ramirez in line for the win if he can finish this one off. 3 innings by Robert to start. Ramirez working on his 4th inning as this is into center field, and it's caught by Taveras. 1 up, 1 down in the top of the 7th. So again, Chiefs able to hit it out of the infield, but only for an out.
Third base, number 7, Tyler Ferdinand.
Here is Tyler Ferdinand, 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout. The Chiefs have been held so far to 1 run on 1 hit, and that 1 hit was an infield single by Parr to begin the ball game. They've drawn 4 walks, but that's it. Fastball blown past Ferdinand for strike 1. Hey, Ferdinand, take a sniff of this. I'm the only one who read that book. I certainly didn't see the movie with John Cena. You've never seen any movie with John Cena. You can't see him. Get it? Jokes, internet memes, John Cena. You get it. 1-1 to Ferdinand. Fouled off. 1-2. Followed that one all the way down. You got a piece of it. It wouldn't matter at that point. 1-2 to Ferdinand. Valdario due up next. Ramirez comes set. The pitch. Fouled into the screen. Still 1-2. The Chiefs have left 5 runners on base so far tonight, 3 of them in scoring position. So they have had their chances. But in a game between, as that is in there for strike 3 called, in a game between the 2 most prolific offenses of the season in a series which we may expect to be high scoring, judging by the games these teams played against each other. Comes down to Nick Valdario to try to prolong this 3-1 ball game and avoid a hat trick. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout swinging in the second, strikeout looking in the 5th. That's on the outside corner for strike 1. Game 2 of this series scheduled for Sunday night, first pitch at 8 here at Morelli. Last check, as I mentioned earlier, there's maybe an inch of rain in the forecast in Melrose. Breaking ball upstairs for ball 1. If a game does get played on Sunday night, it will not be here on LSP. The Intercity League will be bringing a crew from the MSBL to run that game, but I will be back on for any games next week. Monday at the earliest. I'll be back on Monday, but after an inch, if there is going to be an inch of rain on Sunday, will this field be playable even on Monday? All right. Anyways, 2-1 to Valdario, and now the Chiefs are down to their final strike of game 1. Ten strikeouts by Expos pitching. Do I hear 11? You bet you do! Ball game is over. The Expos win 3-1. Hat trick for Valdario, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks.
With the final score, the Sabertooth Expos 3, the Andre Chiefs The Expos take the first game of this series and lead 1-0. Game 2 is Sunday night at Morelli Field. First pitch is at 8 o'clock.
So in a game that took 1 hour and 52 minutes, the winning pitcher is Vladimir Ramirez. The losing pitcher is Josh Desai. The final totals for the Chiefs: 1 run on 1 hit with 2 errors and 5 left. And for the Expos, 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and just 3 left. Wow. Yeah, Expos got everything they needed in the first. Looked like they were going to blow it open early. Great job by Desai to hold him scoreless since then, but Roberge goes 3 innings, allows just 1 run on 1 hit with 2 walks and 5 Ks, and then 4 innings of hitless, scoreless relief with 2 walks and 6 Ks for Vladimir Ramirez for the win. The Expos lead this best-of-5 championship series 1-0. Game 2 again scheduled for Sunday night. First pitch at 8 o'clock here at Morelli. Check intercityleaguebaseball.com for the live stream link for that game. If it does get played, of course, as I alluded to, the forecast not looking good for Sunday. Vladimir Ramirez, our player of the game, again with the 4 innings of scoreless, hitless relief with 6 Ks for the win. So, with that said, this has been a presentation of LSP, something for everyone for over a decade. Copyright 2023, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of LSP is strictly prohibited. A reminder that you can sponsor future LSP content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business or event or send a message of support to a player or team. You can also hire us to work your next live event or check us out on Thumbtack for our other services outside the world of sports live events. And order a DVD or digital copy of this game, or check out our other merchandise at lsp37.creative-spring.com or emailing samfeelypbp@gmail.com for all the information on that. And if you're down with the SoundCloud LSP, follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP37. Try it with your friends. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is the Sabertooth Expos 3 and the Andre Chiefs 1. The Expos lead this best-of-5 2023 ICL Championship Series 1-0. My name is Sam Feely. For all my righty friends here at Morelli Field, thanks for tuning in. Mind you, forever and always, freelance isn't free. Love you, Katrina. Party hard, Caitlin.